let's talk about streams in C Sharp. So C Sharp has this idea of streams that anything which is an input or an output can be handled in a stream. And there's many different types of inputs and outputs. The most common that you have used is going to be whatever you're outputting to the console or you're reading in. So console is a stream. That's equivalent to in, say, C++, like the standard input-output. You have CIN and COUT. In C Sharp, that's all handled from the console class. There's also file input-output, to where you can read or write to files. And there is network communication using network stream. There's memory stream, to where you can allocate a section of memory and then stream data to and from that for, say, inter-process communication capabilities. So for right now, we're going to talk about file stream and reading and writing files from the computer. So to begin with, we will need to create a file. So I'm going to go over here and I'll just create a new file, and I'll just name this test.txt. And inside of there, I will just add a couple of lines of text. This is the first line. This is the second line. This is the third and final line. So now that we have this file there, this is in the same location as my program file. The first question is, well, where is that file actually located, and how do we add it into our program? So let's go ahead and create a string, and I'll just do file name, and here we would put the file name, test.txt. Now if I just put test.txt, this is going to be the relative path to that file. So more specifically, wherever I'm executing my program from, this file has to exist in that same location, which when you're debugging and writing your programs, it's not exactly that same location. So let's go ahead and say if not file dot exists, and then we'll just put in the file name. So this is just kind of a safety check to say, hey, does this file exist? Console.write line, and we'll just say the file name does not exist. And then we can go ahead and environment dot exit, and then this will just throw an exit code. So if I run this and we wait, notice that I will get the file test.txt does not exist, and then process finish with exit code -1. Again, if I comment out this environment.exit, then because we successfully exit main at the end, this will exit with exit code 0. This is just kind of, it's the same as when you have an unhandled exception and it exits with some negative number exit code. That's effectively what it's doing, is it's throwing an exit and then it's throwing an integer which is being seen as whatever it's exiting with. But getting back to the original problem, where is this file? So I obviously know that it exists there, and I have the file name here. Now if I was packaging up this program into an executable or something, I would make sure I would have the test file with my program. And so in that case, if that file is in the same directory as my program, everything will work. For debug purposes, I need to look down here and see where it is actually running the program from. So the location that I'm in C, users, presentation, writer projects, CS file IO, and CS file IO. So I am in this location right now. There is a separate directory called bin, and then one called debug inside of there, and then net 6.0, and then that is where the executable is actually in. So I could move this file into the same location as the executable to get it to work, or I can go ahead and, since I'm just testing and demonstrating it, go ahead and give it the relative path to that. So this is saying, okay, from this location I need to go up 1, 2, 3 directories to get to this location, and then I should see test. So dot dot goes up one directory, and because this is Windows, you have to put a you have to escape the backslash, and there we go. So now this is going up 1, 2, 3 directories, and then inside of here, then it will look for this test.txt file. So now if I run this, notice that we get no error output there. We get exit code 0, which means that it found that file. This is the right path. Now, if I don't want to put double backslash because, well, I'm lazy and that's a lot of extra typing, go ahead and copy this. You can use literal string interpretation. You put an @ there, then you do not have to escape these characters. So if you remember that way back on the, it was in week 1, I believe, when we were talking about strings, you can put an @ in front of it, and then if you put a quote, you have to put a double quote in there to escape that. But otherwise, a backslash, a single backslash, is treated as a single backslash. So notice that you do not have to escape it anymore. And again, when we run, it successfully runs. We do not get any error, and everything is happy.